Poverty is an issue that affects people all over the world. Over 3 billion people in the world live on less than $3 a day. However, poverty is closer than you think. In fact, it is right here in Boone. It might surprise you to learn that 60.9% of Boone residents receive income that is below the poverty level.
There are a lot of people in need. There's a lot of people in need in this area.
A lot of the wealthier families live in Blowing Rock, not so much around campus. There are a lot of impoverished families in the area.
There's definitely some economic factors in this area that keep populations in need. It makes sense economically, but if you can hire a transient population at a lower wage and not provide benefits, then that's the way you're going to go a lot of time with businesses.
I think that's why this program is such a big deal, because they get that interaction that they need and to feel accepted and loved. A lot of the children that come to our program are from the hospitality house, and they come on the buses and we come and pick them up. A lot of the kids come and they don't have clean clothes or they haven't had a lot to eat. They always look forward to snack time, and they don't have a lot of material possessions, so those that they do have, they hold on to really tightly. It's obvious that they struggle financially, but at the same time, I don't think they let that get to them. They tend to stick together as a family. And
Farm Cafe's goal is to feed people a nutritious meal on a daily basis that might not be able to get a cooked meal in a restaurant-type setting that is from as much local and fresh foods as available. Participating, so our goal is to build community by letting people participate, by letting them work an hour in exchange for a meal if they need to, or by allowing them to help out their neighbors by just coming in and having a meal. Look, you can see that some people will come in and they'll say, so you're really going to give me a meal if I just volunteer an hour? It's like, yeah, and we've had people who will tear up and say, I can't believe you're going to do that. So those folks need a place to be. We want to feel like this is a safe place where people can come, they can interact, they can talk to each other, they can share their stories, and we can learn about each other here. And I've got somebody who's working at ASU, sit beside somebody who's homeless, sit beside somebody from the hospitality house, sit beside somebody who works downtown, and they're all talking to each other. They all know each other by name. They see each other in here on a daily basis or every other day. So they know each other and they talk about life. There's a different way to look at this. It's not always just somebody that's in need. They're there because they didn't do what they were supposed to. Maybe they made some mistakes, we all do, but maybe they just found themselves like anybody else could in a circumstance they never saw coming. Affects them. You see how it affects people's overall attitude about themselves, because you can tell that people feel like others are not treating them with respect. They want to feel just as special as anyone else, and they should. Everybody has their place on this planet, but you can see that kind of downcast look. So I just think overall it's all a matter of dignity, and when people are in a position where they have less than others and they're constantly reminded of it, then they feel less dignity than they should. There's a pressure to get their daily needs taken care of in a way that other people don't experience. Like somebody said to me before, poor people have all the same problems rich people have, they just have poverty with that. Any situation, you're defined by what you choose to be defined by. So,
for our activism project, we chose to put together 3 green gift giving events to give people living in poverty a way to give their loved ones Christmas gifts. Our project was a success because impoverished children and families were able to walk away with tangible gifts that they were able to give.
I think a lot of it starts with just being educated about the people. I think a lot of the times we tend to separate ourselves from those that are in need in the community. There's just such a need in the community that I think it's important that we just know about it. Donating things in any way possible. I go to the Heart and we do a lot of Sunday school days where we get together a lot of school supplies and make little backpacks to give to the students who don't have enough school supplies to get them through the year. So I think just little things like that and just working together would really make a big difference.
To share the information, but to get personally involved if there's any way possible, because once it's your story, you know, it's easy to study someone else's story, but once you participate, then it becomes your story, and then you get to share it in a way that's much more meaningful.
Soccer with them, and I think if we would just, you know, get outside of our bubble and just kind of, you know, get uncomfortable for a little bit, I think it would be.
Now, our goal is how can we eradicate hunger, how can we eradicate poverty. And I know those are lofty goals, and not everybody, it's not something you're probably ever going to do in your own lifetime, but it's a goal worth having and a goal worth striving for. So that's.
Looking at the evidence of poverty here in Boone, we encourage you to take action here by volunteering with Farm Cafe, Hospitality House, and other organizations that work towards ending poverty here in Boone.